and wonders from those who attack Allah the Almighty's Sharia in the issue of the boundaries, when it calls to stone the married man or woman till death. Don't these realize that we are sacrificing one person to keep the safety of the millions in health and welfare? Don't they see what happens, for example, in the plague which made the scientists helpless in finding a cure for it till now, and how the Sharia has ordered to not go to the land where this disease has spread, and ordered the people of such afflicted land to not go out of it, so it does not spread out between the people. As well it is in the case of adultery, because the adulterer or the adulteress's evil is not limited only on him or her, but it goes over to the entire society. All that we should take into consideration that the Sharia has differentiated between the married and the unmarried men and women. In the case of no marriage, there is more than one semen. Therefore, in San Francisco, we were asked, why have you legalized the numerous wives, and have not done as well with men? This is of them as per comparing the man to the woman. Why does not a woman marry and has 4 men at the same time? I said, asking them, don't they have places where the youth relax themselves sexually? Means prostitution houses. They said, yes, in some states. I said, what precautions have you taken to protect the society? They said, we run weekly periodic checkups. I said, does this include the all or merely random samples? I said, so it is possible for the disease to infiltrate to those youths, and suppose that you ran a checkup on one adulteress on Sunday, for example, and on Monday, this disease came to her, then too. How many persons will be infected till the next Sunday? Thus, this is an issue in which you cannot control the disease. Moreover, do you run these checkups on the married men and the married women? And have you discovered such diseases among them? They said, seldom did we find that between the married. I said, so, it was on you to pay attention to the reason of those diseases, and that they come from the numerous men semen in the one place, because each semen has its own liquidity and microbes which fight, if they are in the one place, and so disease is initiated. Had every woman having one husband, we will not see such diseases in the society, assuming fidelity, and hence comes the role of the religious deterrent. If it is missing, then the sensual religious deterrent becomes a necessity to deter these and stops them at the boundaries of Allah the Almighty against their will, even if they believe not in it. Therefore, these are issues and diseases have taken place upon the people as much as they have done of obscene and infringement of the sanctuary of Allah the Almighty. For example, look who gets compelled to travel to this country, how much is he cautious and worried, as resides in a hotel. He takes his own tools, and is afraid of using the other's belongings, and keen on the cleanness of the place and the replacement of the bed sheets before he sleeps on ellipsis points, etc. All these precautions, the Sharia, as it decrees the killing of the adultery or the adulteress, is what has done that for saving the entire society. And many times, when we face the objections from the owners of the foolish mercy and the meaningless slogans, are they more merciful with the creation than the Creator, Allah the Almighty? Don't they look at the earthquake or the vehicles accidents and the airplanes which harvest the thousands of the lives? That's why the noise, when we amputate from the society the ill organ. Then Allah the Almighty saying, Surah Alnnou'r verse 1. Quote, left square bracket, this is right square bracket, a surah which we have brought down and we have made it obligatory. End of quote. The surah is derived from Surah and left square bracket, the wall of the house, in Arabic language right square bracket, and it is a group of the Quran stars and verses that are surrounded by a start and an end. There is judgment and may be long as Surah of al-Baqarah or short as Surah of al-Ikhlas and al-Qadr. There is special amount for the Surah. Quote, we have brought down. End of the quote of the Nur 1. We understand from have brought down that the bringing down is from a superior rank to that of a lower rank, as the employee, for example, writes wanting to complain to his boss, I raise to you such and such. Then the boss says, I brought down the such and such law. Thus the lower raises to the higher and the higher caused to bring down to the lower. Therefore, Allah the Almighty says we have brought down, even to the thing that does not come down from the sky, as he has said, Surah Al-Hadid verse 25. Quote, and we have brought down iron, wherein is great violence and benefits for the people. End of quote. Thus the iron, though its source is the land, but it is not but by the ability of Allah the Almighty. Quote, and we have made it obligatory. End of quote. In verse 1. The imposed thing is the must to be done, because the legislator has said it and decided and estimated it, and of that is Allah the Almighty saying, Surah Al-Baqarah verse 237, quote, and you have already enjoined for them an enjoining left square bracket mar, that is dowry right square bracket. Thus half of what you have enjoined left square bracket is due to them right square bracket. End of quote. Any, half what you have estimated. So, indeed, everything has a rule in the Sharia. Thus indeed, Allah the Almighty has estimated it a wise estimation as per its value. Quote, and we have revealed therein evident data. End of quote of the Nur 1. The evident data, and called the ayah, as we said, on the cosmic ayah, that attracts our sights to the capability of Allah the Almighty and His marvelous making, and is called on the miracles that prove the sincerity of the messengers, peace be upon all of them, and is called on the verses of the noble Quran that contain the rules. And in this surah, there are many rules till he has said, the Almighty. Surah Alnnou'r verse 35. Quote, Allah is the illumination of the heavens and the earth. End of quote. Quote, an illumination upon an illumination. End of quote of Alnnou'r 35. Thus as long as you have taken the illumination of this worldly life, and have admitted that it is the best, and that in case it appeared, it cancels all of your lights, then as well take the illumination of the Sharia and act accordingly to it, and to know that it is, quote, an illumination upon an illumination. End of quote of Alnnou'r 35. Therefore, from Allah the Almighty, you have two illuminations, sensual light and moral illumination. Quote, from which you may take lessons. End of quote of Alnnou'r 1. After Allah the Almighty has said, I have brought down such and such, he wanted to agitate the feelings, for his ayat to be received the nice way, and for his judgments to be applied in the best manner. I brought down to you such and such, perhaps you take lessons from that, feeling agitating and urging to benefit from the legislation of the Sharia of the Creator of the creation. All the translations are by L. House.